A neuroscientist named Gregory Burns spent 15 years of his life alongside a pug named Newton. Then Newton's spine gave out, and on the last day, Burns held him as he went still. And in that silence, Burns realized he had never in 15 years known whether Newton actually loved him. At some point, you will stand in your own home watching your dog lose their mind over someone else. Most of what you will find online about this will tell you the exact same 3 things. All of that is true, but none of it is the interesting part. And here is why. Welcome to the dog code, where every behavior your dog has ever shown you finally gets decoded. So let us start with what you believe is going on when your dog picks a favorite. You are probably half right about this, and completely wrong about the specific half that matters most. You think it is about who gives them the most, and that is not entirely wrong. Your dog is not in the corner, tallying treats, walks, and belly rubs like items in a ledger. They are tracking something far more subtle than what you provide them, and far more personally consistent. Whose behavior is the most predictable? That is the question your dog's nervous system is constantly asking. Research in canine attachment science has consistently shown that safety for a dog is not passive at all. Safety for a dog is not comfort. It is active permission to relax, explore, and actually play. Keep watching, because the next section is something most dog owners have been misreading their entire lives. Your dog does not bond hardest with whoever pets them most. They bond with whoever is most legible, steady voice, readable body language, no sudden mood shifts. Your dog is a fluency machine. They are drawn toward the person they can decode the fastest, and that wiring starts very early. During the first 6 months, your dog's brain was still building its entire social wiring from scratch. If your dog had their person during that window, that signal is not just strong, it is foundational. Research from Oregon State University's Canine Science Lab has documented exactly how critical that early window is. The difference between a dog who orients toward you and a dog who does not becomes clear from here. If you have not yet subscribed to the dog code, right now is exactly the right moment. Here is what the science shows when this behavior is studied under real laboratory conditions. Researchers brought dogs into an unfamiliar room and gave them a problem to solve: a treat-dispensing toy. When the dog's owner was sitting nearby, not helping, not speaking, just there, the dogs worked longer. When the owner left and a friendly stranger sat in the same chair, the dogs slowed down and quit. The stranger was perfectly nice. The dogs did not avoid them. They simply could not use them. Researchers call this the secure base effect, borrowed directly from decades of human infant attachment psychology research. Your dog's favorite person is the one whose presence makes them brave enough to engage with the world. And now here is where it gets strange, because this bond is not just behavioral, it is chemical. A team at Azabu University in Japan brought dogs and their owners into a room for 30 minutes. Dogs who spent more of that time gazing into their owner's eyes had significantly higher oxytocin afterward. But it was not one way. The dog's gaze triggered the human's chemistry, and the human's response triggered the dog's. This finding was published in the journal Science by Takafumi Kikusui and his team at Azabu University in 2015. They ran the same study with hand-reared wolves raised by people from birth, and the loop never activated. This mechanism evolved specifically in dogs during domestication, targeting the exact chemical system that bonds a parent to a child. After Newton died, Gregory Burns went to a shelter and adopted a shy, skinny terrier mix named Kali. Then he did something nobody had done before. He trained Kali to lie still inside an fMRI scanner, awake, no sedation, no restraints, just Kali, a trained response, and a brain scanner reading her activity in real time. In 2016, his team trained 13 dogs to associate one object with food and another with their owner's praise. The caudate nucleus, the brain's anticipation of reward center, responded to owner praise with equal or greater intensity than food. In the majority of those dogs, The brain treated the human connection as a reward, equal to or above food. Then came the maze. Food down one path, their person down the other. 20 trials each. Most dogs chose their person. And then there was Ozzy, who chose food every single time. Some of you watching this are the ones who know. You are not your dog's number one person. You do everything. You are the one who shows up. And your dog still goes to someone else first. The secure base data shows a dog orients toward whoever their nervous system can most easily read as safe. A nervous dog gravitates toward the calmest presence, even if that person forgets to fill the water bowl. And if your dog bonded with someone else during those first critical months, that wiring goes very deep. You did not fail. You arrived after the foundation was already laid, and those are simply different things. But here is what the research also shows. Dogs can and do shift their primary attachment over time. It keeps coming back to Burns and Newton. 15 years on the couch, 15 years of walks and routines, 15 years of neither of them thinking about any of it, because it simply was what it was. And then it was over. And the question that remained was not whether Burns had been a good owner. The question was whether Newton knew him, whether any of it had registered, whether any of it meant something. It took a decade, 100 dogs in brain scanners, and a terrier mix named Callie to find an answer. Your dog carries you in their brain the way you carry them in yours. Scent, rhythm, nervous system signature. That is not a metaphor. That is what the scans show, and what 15,000 years together actually built. Tell us in the comments the quiet, weird, specific thing. Who your dog goes to first when something startles them. The way they position themselves in a thunderstorm. Who they bring the toy to. Who they check on first. Subscribe to the Dog Code. Every week, we decode another behavior your dog has been showing you all along. Drop a comment and tell us what your dog does. We read every single one and we mean it. Next, we are looking at what happens inside your dog when they detect something you cannot sense at all.